Hello, 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 and welcome to the stream. Eventually, I have managed to get it working. Well, I hope I've managed to get it working. We will find out very, very shortly if I've managed to get it working. Let me grab a chair and we can take it from there. Right, guys, so once again, thank you so much for joining me on the stream. If you have joined me already, this is the first ever stream of this type where I'm streaming out across all my platforms. So I'm streaming to my Facebook page, to Twitter, to Twitch, to YouTube, and to the new LinkedIn live beta. So if you're joining me over on LinkedIn, this is definitely a big experiment. Thank you, LinkedIn, for giving me the opportunity to stream to your platform. I have got the chat active over here on this phone here because my screens are all the way over there and I can't see them. So yep, jump in and let me know if you have any questions, and you can also just say hello so I know who is here and who has joined us. I see a whole 2 people have joined us. Thank you so much for joining us. I thought to kick it off, what we would do is we're going to chat just general photography, nothing fancy. I've got a couple of my new toys out here that Canon South Africa has sent me to play with. So I've got the EOS RP sitting over here. I've got the new 850D Canon, which I've just got, and I'm dying to play with that one. I've got the new 24-105. This is the new cheapy 24-105 from Canon South Africa, or from Canon, which replaces, or doesn't replace, is the cheaper version of the 24-105 that I've got on my EOS R. And then I've got obviously got my big beastie over here, which is my 5D Mark IV with a 70-200 on it. Then I've also got sitting over here from Canon as well, which is the 24-240 RF mount lens, which they brought out for the EOS RP and the EOS R. And then just one of my other little lenses over here as well. So do drop some comments down below if you are watching and you would like to know anything. I'm not sure where you guys would like to start. I'm going to start by having a sip of coffee because the weather outside is pretty shitty, isn't it? Oh yeah, yummy coffee. I do miss Seattle though. You know what I really miss is the Richmond Cafe. I miss the Richmond Cafe. If you haven't been to the Richmond Cafe in Richmond, it is most probably one of the coolest spots in Johannesburg to go and have coffee. It is run by ex-star photographer and a friend of mine, Antoine de Ross. He has made the most amazing spot, and they have phenomenal food and just fantastic coffee. So if you haven't been to that spot, maybe what I'll do, I will drop a link down in the comments down below with a link to the Richmond Cafe so you guys can go and check it out as soon as, you know, we're allowed out of the house again. More coffee first. Oh, yummy. That is yummy. Okay, let's see who is on here. Let's just put this up here. Okay, so what I don't know, and I'm not 100% sure of, is if this is bringing in all the comments from the different platforms. I hope it is. I've spent quite a lot of time trying to work that out. Let's turn the audio off there. But if you are making comments and you're not getting any feedback from me, it could just be, there we go. Because I'm not getting it on this platform. Like I say, I'm still fine-tuning the way this whole stream is going to work. So let me kick it off by talking in general, giving you a little bit of background info on me. As you know, my name is Shane Robinson. I have been a photojournalist and photographer, video creator, but photojournalist for 18 years now, working mainly covering things like natural disasters, war zones, that type of stuff, riots. That was my bread and butter for about 16 of those years until I decided that it was time to give being something else a chance. So I retired from being a photojournalist a couple of years ago. I ran a studio for a while, and then I moved across to video and started creating content for YouTube, mostly reviews that I do and tutorials and stuff as well. And that's kind of where I want to take these live conversations to, is chatting about new gear, chatting about tutorials, and working out a way that I can help you guys improve your photography and improve the way that you take photos. I have been out recently, so I've kind of come out of retirement for COVID-19, and I am working with the Citizen newspaper documenting this. And if you're following on my Facebook page, obviously you have seen my images. I've posted about 50, 60 images up there already of the photo story that I'm busy with on COVID-19, and those images have done fairly well for me. I've got some more stuff lined up, some different stuff. What I'm trying to do with this is to try and document everyday life in a different type of way, so that it's not just standard news photos. I'm trying to document what I see on a daily basis, be that more newsy type images with the army and the police in Joburg Central, right round to people shopping in suburban shopping centres, or going down the road wearing masks, those type of things. I'm trying to tell that story the way I see it, and I think it is doing pretty well. You're welcome to go and check out the photos on my Facebook page. There's a couple over on my LinkedIn and my Twitter as well, and over on my Instagram as well. And you can check it out. My socials are at Shane Pix, P-I-X, across all my social media channels. That's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch. I think that's it. I did do a little foray into TikTok, but yeah, we're just not going to gel. So let me talk through some of the gear while I'm waiting for some comments to come in, and anyone who wants to know anything. Let me pop this back onto the chat. Where I've lost the chat. There's the chat there. Okay, no questions in yet. So what I'm going to do is just talk through some of the gear that I use on a daily basis to capture the photos and videos that I capture. So my main body at the moment is this beastie here, which is my Canon EOS 5D Mark IV. Now I normally couple this with a 24 1.4 lens, and maybe this little lens over here, which is my Sigma 12 to 24 wide lens. I love this lens. I know it's only a Sigma, it's not a Canon lens, but it is a phenomenal lens, and I love shooting wide arty images. So that is definitely one of my favorite lenses. On the Canon at the moment, I've got a Sigma 70-200 f2.8. Why not a Canon lens? Because this is what I could afford. So I went with the Sigma. It's still a pretty damn good lens. Yes, I would love to have the new 70-200 2.8 on there, but instead of investing in that on the EF side of the lenses, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be buying the new RF 70-200 2.8 lens, which I will then run on my EOS R and my EOS RP. Now these are my two mirrorless cameras from Canon. Both phenomenal cameras. I love them to death, especially when I'm working on the video side, because it is so easy to work both of these bodies onto my gimbal. They balance nice and easily. I can bang this little small lens on here onto the gimbal, and it's a lot easier to work with. I mean, I've even done the gimbal with an RP and a 24-105, and that works fantastically as well. That is one of the major features of moving to a mirrorless camera from the 5D Mark IV. It is just so small, and I know a lot of people have misgivings around mirrorless versus DSLR, and I was one of those people. I must say, when the idea of mirrorless first came out, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to move across to that. I'm going to stick with my DSLR because it's a beast and it's a tank, and I can throw it off the back of a truck and it'll still work. Until I played with the EOS R for the first time, and it is just fantastic. I love it to death. It has changed the way that I capture both photos and video. So those are my two cameras there, 24-105 RF on there. I've got a 24-105 RF, the cheaper one, on there. And that is about it. Let's just pop over here again. Do pop in some questions if you guys want to know anything. Like I say, this is the first of the live streams across these platforms, so we will jump into a flow as we get going. Let me just see if there's anything here. Nope, no comments as yet. You guys need to work with me on this. There's no point in just me talking. I need to know what do you want to chat about, and then we can kind of take it from there. It needs to be a conversation. That's the way these things work. I'm going to drink some coffee in the meantime while I wait and see if any of you want to have a chat. Not going to complain. It's still good coffee. It's not Seattle, but it's still good coffee. Oh, man. I think I'm drinking too much coffee, though. Oh, that is yummy. So, moving forward, I think what we're going to be doing is we're going to be chatting about different sections of photography. So I was thinking to kick it off, what I may do is go really, really simple and start off with something like an intro to cell phone photography, how to use these little beasties to do the best that you can do. And trust me, you can do phenomenal work just with a cell phone. If you go through and have a look on my channel, on my Facebook page, you'll see a lot of the images that I've shot inside shopping centers and that I've shot in shops and everything are shot with my iPhone 11 Pro, because it is so easy to kind of get sneaky stuff with it. And you know, if I walked into a shopping center with this big beastie, security is going to be all over me in a second flat, and then it means permission, etc., etc., etc. So this is a phenomenal tool that you can work with to get fantastic images. I do a lot of work, and a lot of my video work I do on this as well for clients. I'm not talking just for fun. I'm talking about I use this a lot for actual clients and produce work for them using this iPhone 11 Pro because it is that good. My EOS RP as well, love it to death. It's my everyday carry. So this sits with me when I drive. It sits there on my lap, they're ready to fire, and it's just fantastic because if you've got a camera ready and you can go out and shoot immediately, so you see something, you jump out the car and boom, 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 you're shooting. You even just wind down the window and get a quickie as you're driving past. It's important to always be ready if you want to be serious in this game. You always need to be ready. I have a bag that's packed permanently that is ready. That's my EDC that I will pretty much just jump into, and off I go, and I've got gear ready to go. My batteries are charged, my SD cards are in and they're formatted. Everything is ready to go. And if you are looking at photography as something that you'd like to take a little bit more seriously, that is something that you do need to look into. Right, we've been streaming for a while now, and yeah, no comments as yet, but that's fine. It's kind of what I was expecting for the first one or two. I think it's going to take a while for you guys to get used to this and to jump in and start asking questions. So I think at that point I might actually call this stream quits and say thank you very much. It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, so I need to do a whole bunch of stuff yet. It fell right over this lockdown period, so we've had to cancel her party. So I need to go and get preparations ready because we're going to be live streaming her party so her friends can still come. And that's what I need to do next, is kind of get everything ready for that. So thank you so much for those of you that did join us. Thank you for those of you that are watching this as a restream or watching it later on, not as an actual live stream. Feel free to drop comments down below. I will still monitor all these videos across all the platforms and answer any questions that you may have, any suggestions as well. So, you know, if you want to suggest something specific that you'd like me to talk about, or topics you'd like me to tackle, or tutorials you'd like me to do, drop them down in the comments down below. Send me a private message, send me a comment, whatever, on any of the platforms that I'm streaming on today, and we can look at tackling those things for you. The whole point of this is to create a community where I can talk to you guys and you can ask me questions, and maybe I can even ask you questions. I mean, you know, I'm not the best in the world. There's better people out there, so I wouldn't mind collaborating with some of them as well. Right, I think that is it for the first stream. Thank you so much for those that joined me. Thank you to everyone who's watched it afterwards. Give it a thumbs up, a like, a share, subscribe, and all of those things. Don't forget, at Shane Picks across all my social media channels. Go give me a follow, because there is still 2 weeks of this lockdown and I am out there almost every day documenting this. I will be doing some video and stuff as well. I've got a cool idea that I might be following up in the very near future. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much. I will catch you on the next live stream, most probably only on Monday, because I'm going to take the weekend off to spend with my kids. You guys have a great weekend. I'll catch you later. Bye.